Hello guys and girls, King Happy here, and welcome to another King Talks episode. Now, if you're new to this, I'd say every single time I do one of these are not for everyone. These are a podcast style video. Basically you play it in the background, you play your game, whatever you do, and just give it a listen. If you're interested then you can listen, if you're not interested then choose a different video I guess. So, this was a request from a number of people, and I said I might do it in the previous King Talks as well. And that is YouTube and money. How does it work? How the adverts work? What kind of misconceptions are there? And kind of how the figures all pan out. Now, because of YouTube's rules and contract, I can't tell you how much I earn or the exact numbers for things, but I can give you a pretty good impression on how the system works, which should be completely fine. If anything, it promotes people actually going and doing it. So, today is all about that, and to get this to actually figure in people's heads, you watch TV, you have advert breaks, you deal with it. You may not like them, but you deal with them, don't you? On internet, if you don't have adverts, people use things like adblock and stuff and try and get around it. Now, that's a difference between the internet and TV. Now, what on TV just makes you accept them because you don't have any control over it. There you go, that's something to consider. Anyway, what is YouTube? YouTube is obviously a ginormous website. It's the third most popular website at the moment on the internet in the world, with over 1 billion unique views a month they were tracking, and that makes it more popular on unique views than television is. Now, on television, you may have longer view times on television. The average time spent on YouTube per day or per visit is only about 20 odd minutes. People can spend a lot longer than that watching TV, obviously. So there are some advantages to YouTube on advertising, or the internet in general for advertising, than TV. TV is very, very expensive, and you may not hit your target audiences. Well, you can, but they can be very expensive to hit them, and you just pay a sort of a flat fee for advertising, and loads of people watch it. You don't actually know kind of quantifying how much business you're going to get from it, but it's generally just impression stuff and all that. On YouTube and internet in general, you can target the adverts quite strictly to your exact demographic, exact age ranges, exact type of people that are searching types of videos and stuff, everything else. So basically a company can go to YouTube and say, I'd like to advertise on your website, I'd like to advertise on your videos, and then they can go through and do an ad campaign and everything else. We won't go too much into that because it's not particularly relevant to pretty much anyone here, including me. I know how it works, but I'll try and explain it very quickly. And the whole point of this actual video, I thought I may need to do some sort of presentation thing and make it really clear, but I thought it's not really kind of the way I'm to do the King Talks episodes. That's kind of a different thing altogether. And if I can give over the correct information, you understand what we say today while just talking to you, then surely that would be an even better thing. So companies will go to YouTube and say, I want to make an ad campaign, and then campaign. I've got to really talk slowly I think today. My voice is going a little bit as well, so I've got to be careful on that. So companies go to YouTube and say, I want to run an ad campaign and I want to advertise to this target audience with this advert and these keywords and everything else. YouTube will go, yep, that's fine. Well, Google will say, yep, that's fine, because YouTube are Google and all that. So companies can put different types of ad campaigns in and everything else, and they can work out what kind of structure they want to pay for things and how things are. There's lots of things into it. The main point is there is CPC and CPM. Now there will be some other acronyms in this today. We'll explain what they mean. CPC is cost per click, and CPM is cost per 1,000 impressions. So companies can set a bid for their adverts. They can say, if what you want to put adverts on meets our criteria of what we want to advertise on, then you can put our advert on it. If that advert is then successful, either through clicks on a click-based one, or an impression based, if it just gets shown and people watch it and don't ad block on it, then we will then pay you for that service if it's successful. So like I said, clicks is successful, or impressions if they actually get shown. So that's the main point of it. CPC, obviously I get paid when one of you guys click on the advert and go to the link page, whatever else, and I'll share a percentage of that with Google itself, and then Google will then charge the actual person that wanted the advert, and then that's how it goes. Basically it goes back through the chain. They don't say here's £1,000 and spend it on 10,000 adverts. They only actually get charged when those adverts either get shown or get clicked on. It's a little bit different there compared to TV. So on CPM, obviously people do get misled. They say we only get paid when you click on our adverts. That's not strictly true. At the moment, about 80% of my adverts are on a click base only, so it doesn't matter if you sit there and watch the whole thing, a whole advert and everything else, and don't skip it. We won't get paid any money unless it gets clicked on. It's just how it works. That's not forcing you to do anything, that's just how it works. But some other adverts are impression based, so that if they are seen by you, then we also get paid a bit of money. So it's not always strictly true when people say we only get paid when we get clicks. It's not the whole truth there, but mainly the truth. So when we go on to what we can do with advert wise, so this is where a lot of people get a little bit disrupted, I guess, and sort of what they know and what they don't know kind of overlaps. So basically on YouTube video, we can monetize our content as a content creator. You upload things to YouTube and you meet all the criteria of not being copyrighted and all that sort of jazz. We won't go into that. We won't go into that. That's not really too important on this. If your content is monetizable and you have applied to a YouTube partnership or another network or anything else and you've been approved, then you can monetize your content. So basically you can say you're not putting adverts on your videos itself, you are saying I will allow YouTube to put those adverts on my content, and I will say that my content is not copyright and can have adverts advertised alongside them or in them. That's not saying we're going to get adverts on our videos when we request them. They are only a request for adverts to YouTube, and then goes through to Google, and then it goes through to the companies. So if you have some type of video, like a Minecraft video like this, companies may not want to be looking for your demographic, and therefore they may not actually be any adverts to place on your videos. Therefore the actual video may not get an advert. Now in most cases there should be a video, or advert with the video, but sometimes they just aren't. So depending on what country you're in, they just may not be targeting your country, and you just may not see an advert. So people that sit there and say, I don't use adblock, but I don't see any adverts, well, you may just fall outside the criteria that they wanted to advertise within. No, it's not your fault. It's just what happens. So for adverts, this is where people get confused. So you get pre-rolls, so the advert you get before the video starts. You get post-roll, so the advert after the video finishes, that not many people actually get to, I guess, unless they just leave it playing in the background. Then you get mid-rolls. Now mid-rolls are a bit misleading, I guess, because they're not mid-rolls, they are adverts within the video. A little bit different. And this means you can put an advert every 7 minutes at maximum. So at the start of the video, your first advert is your pre-roll at time 0. Your next advert can be at 7 minutes or past that. And at that point, YouTube will then request an advert to its companies that are paying for them. If it fits it, it will then show an advert. If nothing fits it at that point, then they won't show it. That's why we have ad requests, and then we have successful adverts that get placed. So we can put them every 7 minutes. So for instance, I could put one now, and then we're back. So that's a 7-minute one. So you can place that every 7 minutes in an episode of something. So if you have a 30-minute video, you can place maybe 4 adverts with a pre-roll and a post-roll on top of that, so 6 adverts or something. So if you're watching a 20-minute, 30-minute video and there's one advert in the middle of it, then we're being quite nice, I guess, if you look at it that way. Generally, the more adverts that go into videos, the more it pisses people off, and the less likely they are to watch the rest of the video. So what we get is an abandonment rate. So the amount of chance that the person will basically get pissed off and leave the video. That's the complete honest truth. And for that, there are different types of adverts we can put on them. So most people get overlay adverts, just the overlay ones that kind of just the little bar at the bottom of the video itself with a little tiny thing there. You can just click a little X on that to get rid of it. That's an overlay. The next one is a true view advert. These are the ones that have that 5-second timer that you can skip this advert in 5 seconds. And then you get standard in-stream adverts. They're the ones that you can't skip. They are enabled on my account. They are a higher cost one for companies, so I earn more money from them if they're clicked or shown or seen or anything else. But they have a very high abandonment rate. So basically they piss people off because you can't skip them. Or people refresh the page and try and get a quicker advert or anything else. Just one of those things. And standard in-stream adverts are something that need to be enabled to do live streaming adverts. So I'll talk about that in a bit. So yeah, I'll talk about that now actually. So the live streaming stuff on YouTube, they're still sorting it out, it seems. I've been pushing quite hard on YouTube to get that organised for myself. Now I have the standard in-stream adverts, so I can place adverts on live streams in theory. Apart from, there is something called the CMS. This is the content management system. This is basically what companies like Disney and stuff go through to make sure their copyrighted stuff doesn't get shown on YouTube and people earn money off of it when they shouldn't. So basically they put on all their content claims and snippets of whatever they own and things, so the algorithms can search for that music or that algorithm search or anything else onto videos. If they get flagged up as having that in them, then they'll get a warning and get notes taken off and banned and stuff, all sorts of bits like that. Also, the content management system is how, in theory, I'm meant to get adverts placed on my live streams. So as you're using a live stream, they don't know what you're putting onto it. Now, monetization takes a while to do on YouTube. You have to apply for it every video that happens when you put it up, and then it will be approved after some time. Now, during a live stream, obviously your content is being sent as it is, unless someone's watching it at the point at which it's being sent to YouTube and they're buffered and sent to you guys. There's normally a delay between that, about a minute. That's how it happens on YouTube. If you had someone watching that 24/7 as you're live streaming, then they could kind of approve it as it goes. But in theory, that's something you could do, but really in practice doesn't work. So there's a thing called claiming in the CMS. So that hasn't actually been enabled for me yet. I haven't got that. So basically I would go through, and when I want to do a live stream, I'd sit there and say, I'm claiming this live stream, I have rights to show the stuff on this, I am taking legal responsibility, therefore I can show adverts on it because I'm not making money off of something that I shouldn't. And at that point, then ads should work on my live streams. That isn't seemingly ready yet, and I don't know if that will work at some point or anything else, but that's what I really want to happen. Just like Twitch really, but Twitch is more lax on everything in theory. So CMS is also how other partnerships and networks and things get paid. So through CMS, basically it's claiming people's videos and content such that Nintendo wanted to do that at one point. Through the CMS they would then claim all of Nintendo type videos, any sort of gameplay and stuff. Therefore they could say it will accept that people can use them, but we will want the revenue from those adverts placed on those videos, and the content provider will not actually get that money themselves. So through CMS that would be claiming my own live streams to get paid through that. When you go through to a partnership or a network, then basically they do that and then claim your videos and your channel, and they will get paid for advertisements on your channel. And then afterwards they will pay you a percentage of that back through AdSense or however someone do it, through check or whatever else to do it. Now through YouTube partnership is the easiest one to get. All you do is get a couple of videos on and just apply for monetization, or just register your AdSense account or register your Google account thing, and you can get it done straight away basically. There isn't really hurdles to monetize on YouTube. So don't think that you have to go to partnership to get monetized. The only way you can't really do that is if you're underage, so under 13 or whatever. Then you can't actually get an AdSense account linked to your bank account and stuff, so you can't get it done that way. There are a couple of other things as well. So some people may need to go to a network because networks basically don't normally care what goes on the actual content, and they will claim it and they'll just accept that. You have the responsibility. If you put on something that's copyright, then it's down to you, and they will not take responsibility for it. Whereas on YouTube will not monetize anything unless they've approved it and said kind of, we're not going to get any legal action because of this, therefore we can accept that. No, we can put it on the stuff. If YouTube monetizes stuff which shouldn't be monetized, then YouTube are normally it's their fault basically. Along with your channel would get strikes and things, but YouTube might be held legally responsible for it. So that's why you should be a bit more careful than networks. Now networks, I'm not going to go into this too much because this can be a huge debate between different people. People get very angry and everything else, but basically networks in theory should organize their own adverts. So what YouTube do with their AdSense stuff, where they have ad campaigns and things and all that they sell to companies, in theory networks should do their own thing and sell them to other companies and everything else, and in theory that's how it should work. We won't go through what might happen in practice, but that's how it should work. Now networks often claim certain things, so there are a couple of things I want to explain first. So CTR, there we are, click-through rate. Click-through rate is basically the percentage of time when someone will click on an advert out of the time it was shown. So that's one little thing to have for this. Next thing is RPM. Now this is the most misunderstood term in YouTube, and a lot of people don't understand this at all. They get very much blinded by partnerships that say, we will offer you $6 RPM, or we'll give you a flat rate of $3 RPM and stuff. People kind of see these big numbers and go, oh my god, that looks really good. No, that's obviously how much money they give us per 1,000 views. Now, people don't understand what that means. So, also a lot of the YouTubers that I've spoken to don't actually understand what this means. RPM is how much money, how much revenue you get per 1,000 views. M is 1,000. And it's not strictly a good measure of anything, because we said before, a short video, you can put a video on advert on the front, you could put advert on the back, but if it's a short video, maybe 3 minutes or so, you can't put a advert in the middle, so you're limited to how many adverts you can actually show. So if you're a channel which does, so let's say in a Minecraft context, you do only redstone stuff and all your videos are under 4 minutes, then your RPM can never ever really in practice be as high as anyone that does kind of LP episodes. So maybe 40-minute LPs that do 3 or 4 adverts or 5 adverts per episode, the percentage chance of people clicking on any one of those out of the amount they show is much higher on a longer video than it is on a shorter video. So the click-through rates can be higher on longer episodes than it is on shorter. Now for RPM, it is the revenue per 1,000 views. Now those 1,000 views could be on, say, a redstone channel. You might get 1,000 adverts on the 1,000 views. On a LP channel, you might get 5,000 adverts on those 1,000 views. You may get less adverts that are clicked, so every 5 adverts that are shown, maybe only 0.1 advert is clicked. But in general, there's more adverts in total, therefore more clicks in total, over the same amount of 1,000 views. So longer videos normally make more money, whereas shorter videos, even if you get a really high click-through rate, you're still never going to hit the kind of figures that a longer episode might get. So that's a reason to do longer episodes on things. You can put more adverts in, therefore you in theory will make more money. So there's a lot of YouTubers that kind of get a bit concerned. They say, oh, my RPM has gone up, or my RPM has gone down, or I got loads of views today, but my RPM's gone really low. No, just my luck. I've got extra 40,000 views today, but I've got really low RPM, therefore I'm going to get screwed out of some money. They don't kind of understand how it works. Like I said, no, if you had 40,000 views on a 3-minute video in a day, you'll earn less money in principle than if you've got maybe 10,000 views on a 40-minute video in practice. So when people kind of look at how many views they get per day and RPMs and money and stuff, they're not directly related. You can't sit there and say this person gets X amount of views a day, therefore you must be earning this. It works on sort of the average length of view time and what adverts that people actually get to in the videos and kind of how long their videos are and everything else. No, you can make a very educated guess if you know the figures around them. I can do that, but a lot of people don't kind of understand. They look on some statistic program and they go, oh, this person's going to be earning £10,000 a day because he's getting 100,000 views a day. No, doesn't work like that. At maximum you can get a certain amount of money. In principle, if every single one of your adverts was clicked on maybe 5-10 videos or 5-10 adverts a video kind of thing, but in principle you'll never earn whatever they say people will earn. Now, I'm not saying people don't do well on it, people do very well, but some people that look on these statistics and things, it gives a really warped impression of what you can earn. So if you want to even get paid by Google, for the actual Google part of it, you need to have a minimum of $100 or £60 in the month actually get paid for you in revenue to then get a check or bank statement, or not bank statement, a bank transfer sent to you. That's quite a lot of views, and you might take quite a number of months to build that up. So if you're only getting maybe 50 or 100 video views a day or per video, then you probably don't want to worry about monetization, because you're only talking about a tiny figure at the end, like insignificant kind of thing, where you get maybe 10 years to get one payment through on that kind of views a day. That's how low it is. So if you're a small channel, do not worry about monetization. Don't force it on yourselves, don't want to put hundreds of adverts in, don't really worry when things don't monetize in time, because when you're small, you should be there for growth. No, if you piss people off when you start off with loads of adverts and stuff, then it's much harder to grow. And if you're worried about not putting things out because you haven't got your advert enabled and a video you expect to get 50 views on, then you're kind of kicking yourself because you're not really being realistic about it. Now, I'm making some money. It's good. It's a lot of effort and a lot of work, but it's starting to get there. But I'm getting about 8,000 views a day. So that's taken maybe 4,000, 3,000 hours of time to get that built up to that point. So yeah, has it been worth it on time? No. Could it potentially be worth the time invested now in a couple of years' time? Yes, it could be. And that's how you have to be realistic about it. So, I guess that is hopefully kind of a good overview of how that works. If you've got any questions, I'd love to hear them in the comments. I do have something else to talk about as well today, and this is my live streaming stuff and subscriber events. Now, what I like to do is start putting in loads of polls. We've got the straw polls, which are really good, they're really easy to use, no adverts on them and everything else. And I'll put links in the description now and then when I do them, including episodes. I'll include them as much as I can to get sort of user feedback and sort of nice interaction going on. And today we're going to talk about, I want to do some events. So this could be us just going on a server or during a live stream or something, or me visiting places, or just going and making a video about a couple of servers or something and kind of just showing you guys a showcase. Or it could be me doing a PvP match with subscribers, or sort of watching a PvP match with subscribers, or anything like that. And there are a couple of ideas that are being thrown around on the Twitter. And this Twitter is where I go to voice any of these things. So if you're interested in actually getting huge input, and I put lots of polls up on the Twitter and stuff as well to get feedback. So if you want any influence, jump onto Twitter and keep track of that. I'm nearly at 1,000 followers, that's quite cool. And that's really I base most of my videos on, that small selection of people out of the 20,000, or soon to be 20,000 subscribers I have in total. And I want to include that in descriptions for polls now, such that I can get a bigger amount of people that look at them and vote on them to get a more of a majority view of my subscribers' views. So I'll put a list of things in a poll of kind of events that we could do. Now for live streaming stuff, I'm currently at home, not at my placement anymore. I finished that, and in a couple of months I'll go then to university again. So at the moment the internet is not good. It's 750 kilobytes upload at maximum. Videos take a long time to go up. I have to reduce it to 720p now to get that actually physically able to be uploaded. Live streams are very tough. I did some testing on 360p and that worked. On some big servers and things it was laggy because of the internet flowing back and forth. I may be able to do a 480p stream. We may see if that's possible on this internet, but we are kind of really pushing the limits of this upload while live streaming. Some people said it was fine, no, 360p, 480p, no, people, it's Minecraft, no, it's not exactly a high definition game. The audio should be as it is still, it's 192 kilobytes a second audio, so the audio should be as good as it's going to get. So as long as the visual is able to be seen, then in theory it should work as a normal live stream. So yeah, on the live streams I can't put ads in. I can insert on my side, it's successful, but like the CMS stuff we said before, it can say successfully inserted, and that's the request going to Google saying, we've got this advert space, can you put an advert on it? And Google will say, I'm not sure about that, we won't put an advert on it. So that's why it hasn't shown any adverts. But yeah, it's good fun to do, and it does sort of boost my subs. People come to it and enjoy it. It's a good way of showing things off. I would like to do lots of live streaming on things like Hermitcraft and stuff, because it's good to do it with just other people and everything else, and it's good fun. So I'm going to leave a poll in the description for what kind of subscriber event type stuff you may want to do. Feel free to add other options into the comments, and I may run another poll at some point, or do a refresher poll on the Twitter or something with more options in it at a later date, but to kind of get a good quick impact of what you guys think. So that is the end for today. Thank you very much for joining me, guys, and I'll see you next time.